here today. I'm going to bring in the goods, some stuff that's allowed me to do some pretty cool stuff with Cutco as well too. So please make sure you're taking notes. Also, if you'll come find me afterwards, if you'll give me your one takeaway, your best takeaway from my talk as well too, that would really mean a lot to me as well too. I'd love some feedback. But James touched on this just a little bit. Really, what when you look at Cutco and when it comes to the whole like selling knives thing and stuff like that, there's really three main core foundations. It's phoning, recommendations, and closing. Okay, so phoning, booking appointments, recommendations, getting more leads so you can do more appointments, and then closing, getting orders when you're on those appointments. Make sense? Yes, pretty simple, right? Also, really quick while I'm doing my intro, if someone could come help pass these out too, that'd be great. If I get 2 or 3 volunteers, it'd be fantastic. Now, one thing to understand about all three of these things is that this is one thing to understand with all these is that everything that happens in our business is predicated upon a couple of things. One, relationships, and how do you build relationships with customers? By getting in front of them, by meeting them, so appointments. Okay? By doing so, what that comes down to, what that means. What that means for you then is that phoning is a foundation of your business. There's no other one skill you can master that will make you as much money as quickly as getting good on the phone. Okay, guys. Last year, when during SC2, I sold a little over $30,000 in about 15 days or so, somewhere in there. I did 68 appointments in 2 weeks. How did I do that? Well, one, a lot of really, really hard work, and then two, phoning. This constant phone time is allowed me to do something. It's allowed me to do that. Your phone is your lifeline, is your ATM. Your phone will make you more money than any other thing within this business. Without it, you have no way to generate demos, no money. Does anyone here hate making money? I like it. It's rough, right? So, the only true part of work in our business is sitting down to call your referrals. That's it. That's the only part that most people say, you know what, is I'm not like super jazzed up. Because most of the time when you learn something new about how to sell more Cutco, or hey, I'm going to take this, it's going to give me so much more money, that's really exciting. If you're a people person like me, I love meeting new people. That's a really, really exciting concept to be able to go out there and meet new people and just be able to build these relationships. But how do I get to do that? By being disciplined, being on the phone. Now, if you're disciplined and stick to your schedule, you can do and have anything you want out of this position. Out of this job, literally anything. Just to give you an idea of what that makes you capable of. To give you perspective on this as well too, I just finished up 55 weeks in a row over $1,000 sold. Okay, now I tell you that by no means to brag. Please, I appreciate that, but it's by no means to brag. But it's really just to give you an idea of that type of consistency, what that type of discipline can do for your business. It can do for you. Who here likes to travel? Okay, pretty fun, right? In the past, I guess 6 months, I've been to Cozumel, Panama, Prague, Puerto Rico, Jerusalem, Miami, Nashville. Just got back from El Paso. I'll be going to Alaska next month, and then Costa Rica this summer as well too. I tell you that by no means to brag by any means, but to let you know that whenever you are disciplined with this position, when you commit to this, whenever you can hold yourself to the highest standard, you can literally have anything that you want out of this life and out of this job. Now, everyone says they want to sell big, but most very rarely have an idea of what that looks like. What does it take? How does it, what does it take to sell so much? I've asked many people before, what's your goal for this push? I want to sell $30,000. Oh, that's awesome, man. Very cool. So what, how many orders is that going to take? A lot. Okay, cool. Like, how many phone calls is that going to take? I don't know, a lot. Like, and you just get this a lot answer over and over and over again. And so what it really comes down to, there's a way that you can start to reverse engineer your week and about what you'll sell ballpark based on your numbers. Now understand something with this. There's no set in stone way it's sales. So some weeks you're going to pop bigger, some weeks you're going to go smaller. That's fine. It's going to average itself out in the long term. And now, in order to do this though, and this, by the way, is how someone like myself or James Rush can set ourselves up and say, hey, you know what, this week, if I nail my numbers and I commit to this, I should sell about $7,000 this week. I should sell about $5,000. I should sell about $10,000. For my biggest week ever, etc. Okay? There's a few things you're going to need to know though. Just fill in the blank spots for these on your handout. The first is your vector connect average order. Not what you think your average order is, not what happened that one time you sat down with your friend's mom and she needed your knife and she bought a homemaker set from you. Your vector connect set in stone average order. There's a lot of people that I've met that say, oh, I've got a $1,000 average order on demos. Well, that's awesome. Let's see my vector connect. 420. Okay. Here's the thing. Average order takes into account those people that call you to buy one piece or 2 pieces or something like that, and the people that buy the ultimate of the whole package. It's a true number. It doesn't lie to you. Next thing you're going to want to know is your phoning ratio. This is going to be the number of calls. It's the number of appointments that you book. Number of calls you make to the number of appointments that you book. 10 to 1 is about average. Once you kind of work your way through the first layer of family and friends and things like that, you start working in pretty much purely referral-generated business. 10 to 1 is pretty solid. I've seen people drop 3 to 1 or 5 to 1 sometimes. I've seen the other day I made 200 phone calls and booked 4 appointments. 50 to 1 ratio. That you want to talk about trying to do this frustrating day. But anyway, you're also going to need to know your closing ratio. It's going to be the number of orders for 10 appointments that you complete. So for every 10 demos that you complete, how many times are you walking away from the order for something? It could be a paring knife. It could be a ultimate set. It doesn't matter. How many times are you walking away from the order? You're going to need to know how many appointment slots you have available. And you're going to need to know how many calls you can make per hour. On average, if you're just grilling the phone, 20 to 25 is a pretty solid number. If the average holds true, somewhere in there. I've seen as high as 30 to 35, but that's usually people aren't picking up as much. When they pick up, it takes a long time. 20 to 25 on average. So let's break this down for a second. If you want to do blanket sales, the first thing you know is how many orders is it going to take you to get there, based on your Vector Connect average order. So for instance, to use some numbers just to give a guide for it, if you want to have a $6,000 sales week, your average order is $300. It's going to take 20 average orders. You hit $6,000 in sales. Okay. Now, if you need to have 20 orders, that means you have to do 20 appointments. How many appointments will you have to have booked then? It's going to be your number of orders. Write this down. Number of orders divided by your closing ratio. If you use the above example, it's going to be 20 orders divided by a 60% closing ratio, which is a national average. DCK is above average, so it probably won't take you that long, but the national average. And that's about 33 appointments booked. 33 and some change, so call it 34. Okay. If I need to book 34 appointments, how many calls will that take me? Okay. At a 10 to 1 calling ratio, that means I need to make 340 phone calls in order to book 34 appointments. Okay. And if I'm booking an average of roughly 2 demos booked per hour, how many hours will that take me? Use the above ratio, it's going to take 14 to 17 hours of calling. So then you look at your schedule and you say, where in my week can I distribute 14 to 17 hours of phone time? You put those in there. And at that point, your schedule is set, you've done the heavy lifting, and all you have to do is just execute. Just follow the plan. So a sample calling schedule. This is one that I follow. This is one I used last summer, sold about 80 grand with Cutco in basically 3 months and some change. Okay? I made 10 calls on a Monday, 20 Tuesday. Wednesday, I would make 20 in the morning, 40 at night. Thursday, I'd do 20 in the morning, 40 at night. Friday and Saturday, I would have off. And Sunday was my big call day. I'd make 100 phone calls every Sunday. Take on average 46 hours. So my Sunday afternoon was pretty much from 2, 3, 4 p.m. on. It's basically taking that. Now, a couple key things. That's how you reverse engineer your week. A couple key points with that. Know your demo times ahead of schedule. Put everything into place that must happen that week first. So if you need to have family time you need to do, if you need to hang out with your boyfriend or girlfriend, if you're a student you need to study, if you are in class, anything that is set in stone, this cannot move, this must happen. Put that in there first. Absolutely. And plan your demos around that. Second, respect your demo times. Respect your demo times. So for instance, if you have a 4:30 p.m. slot and a 6 p.m. slot, If your customer says, hey, what about like 5:15 that afternoon? Don't take it. Find another time that works. Because at that point, you're probably not going to get to somebody's house, build rapport with them, show them cut code, drop down, get referrals, have them text all the leads, get all your knives out, put all your knives back up, cook all this food, and get out the door and to their friend's house in 45 minutes. Unless you work for the Fair and Show team. Anyway, find a better time. Otherwise, it's going to wreck both time slots. Commit to your schedule. Like I said, set your schedule up so it does all the work for you. Do the heavy lifting early, and that's all that's left to do at that point is execute. A huge key point, guys, as well too, that allows you to do this sustainably in the long term is be where your feet are. You want to write that down. Be where your feet are. So what does that mean? That means whenever you're at a Cutco conference, you're a Cutco sales rep learning. When you're with your significant other, you're a boyfriend, you're a girlfriend. Whenever you're with your family, you're a son. When you're with your friends, you're a friend. When with your siblings, you're a brother or sister. But don't think about Cutco whenever you're with them. Be present. Now, a couple key pointers here as well too, and then I'll be in the back if you have any questions for me. But when it comes to doing phone time, your environment is going to set your phone time up for success. So what do you need to be successful? Step one, clear all distractions. No Facebook, no TV. Go someplace where you can be focused. Things to have in front of you and with you. Your phone, your scripts, your referrals, and your schedule already with pre-planned demo times. Now, a pro tip with this as well too, if you leave voicemails like I do or you get a call back from somebody, if your demo times are at the same time every single day, then if someone calls you back, even if you're away from your calendar, you know what times to offer them. Okay. So, some key points while you're on the phone. Think of it this way. The first 5 seconds on the phone are your first impression. You need to match their tone like Mike talked about, and consistently what I would say is probably be, on a scale of 1 to 10, probably a 1 to 1.5 energy level higher than your customer. So for instance, if they're at a 5, I'm like, oh, hey, hello? Oh, hey, Susie, this is Jonathan Schmitz calling. How are you doing today? Slightly higher. Matching, slightly above. You want to be able to lead them with your emotion. Smile while you're dialing. It's amazing when it comes to the phone. Whenever you smile, you seem more friendly. Your voice warms up a little more. You feel better. Mike touched on this with his physiology. You're just having a conversation with somebody, nothing more and nothing less. Keep that in mind. You're not a robot. You're talking to someone. You want to be able to match their tonality. And just like Mike said, people tend to like people like them. It starts with your tone on the phone. That is your first impression. You want to be sincere but direct. Explain who you are, why you're calling, what you're working on. Build urgency, and be clear about what you're asking for. Okay? No matter what approach you're using, those are the fundamentals. Now, some objections really quick, and I'll teach you how to firm up. So when I was thinking of what objections people get on the phone, it usually comes down to 1 of 4 things. Those times don't work. Can you call me back? I don't know my schedule. Or I'm not interested. The majority of things you're going to get are going to come down to 1 of these 4. So here's how you handle them. The first one, those times don't work. Hey, Ms. Jones, I totally understand. My schedule is super crazy right now too, but my contest just means so much to me, and I'm super committed to hitting my goal. If you don't mind my asking, is that just a bad day, or is that just a bad time? Bad day or bad time, fine-tune your times. Can you call me back? Yes, ma'am, absolutely. When's the best time for me to touch base with you? Okay, you're sure you'll be available then? Oh, awesome. Well, actually, I had an opening for that day and time. Would it be okay if I just swung by then? She just told you she was available. I don't know my schedule. Hey, Ms. Jones, I totally understand. I don't always have my calendar on me anyway as well. Would it be okay if could we just like pencil something in for this day at this time, and I can call you or text you to confirm it? So when you have someone's information in your calendar, even if it's just penciled in, it's much easier to reschedule somebody as is try and call them back, get a hold of them, and find time at that point. And most will say yes to this if they're serious. If they're not, then book over that appointment slot and call them back later. I'm not interested, especially for those of you that are college students. Oh, that's okay. You don't have to be interested at all. I actually get credit and pay just to show it. So would it be possible for me to swing by at 7 a.m. or would like 9:30 a.m. work a little better for your schedule? Okay. Enthusiasm is key on this one. You'll be energetic. This one you learn. Now, last but not least, guys, I'm going to teach you what's allowed me to get. Last year I did $155,000 total. 152 of that came in about 7 months at the end of the year. I got stood up less than 10 times last year. Okay. Who here hates showing up to a house and they're not there? Would you like it if every time, like if nothing else, at least I called you or texted you and let you know, hey, we need to reschedule? Okay. Use this on the end after you get the appointment. So after you agree to a time, hey, Ms. Jones, thank you so much for helping me out with this. It really does mean a lot to me. If you could do me one last favor and make a note really quick in either like your phone or your calendar, however you keep track of appointments best, that I'll be swinging by on Thursday at 5:30. The only reason I asked is because the other day I drove all the way to Houston to see somebody, and I guess they forgot to write it down because they completely forgot about me. I know no one ever means to, especially if they have kids. Life just gets kind of crazy sometimes. But if you can make a note of that for me, I'd really appreciate it. Awesome. Well, hey, thanks again so much for helping me out. I promise to be the highlight of your day. I'll see you Thursday at 7:30. Thank you so much. See you soon. So what did that do right there? They created a mental picture in their mind. The example I use is Bremont. It's about 50 minutes away from College Station. I drove an hour, almost an hour there, almost an hour back to get no-showed for one appointment that day. I'm not super happy about it, but I'm really grateful that person did that because now people don't no-show me. They call me, they text me, hey, we're going to do this, we need to reschedule. Okay, cool, does this day or this day work better for you now? I know about it before I leave the house. What you did in their mind, you created a mental picture of them driving an hour. And, oh man, that would stink. Oh yeah, that'd be great. Oh no, for sure, I'll make a note of that then too. Okay, awesome. You may remember you. So guys, don't be afraid of the phone. This generation loves to talk anyway. You're just meeting new people. Most of the time they're pretty friendly. So don't be afraid of it. Put your schedule in place. Let's see the actions. Thank you.
Someone who runs my music. All right, so it is snack break and round table time. Hold on. I want to let you guys know what's going down. So just so you guys are aware, I actually just left this over here. We've got, I know they're finishing up in the other room. So a couple of our guys who are doing tables, they'll be coming over here in a moment. If I can get, Philippe, if you can get Mary Lou or someone that can run sound, please. I like music and I press play, but it doesn't play. So I'm challenged when it comes to that. Let me let you guys know what we've got going down. So we've got Justin Ledford, by the way, who's in the back there. Many of you guys got a chance to listen to Justin when we were at the kickoff event. He will have a round table for Q&A and just words of wisdom from whatever Justin wants to do, because he can do whatever he wants. He's Hall of Fame. Then you have Charissa Sosa will also have a round table for Q&A for anything that you guys want to work and focus on. We've got Mr. Mike Lanzetta. So those two Hall of Fame members and Court of Honor, those guys will be back there doing more Q&A, just in general, whatever you guys want some help with. Then we have specifically Mr. Jonathan, who was just up here. He's going to be giving some cookware tips. So anyone who wants to learn about pots and pans, his table is going to be focused on cookware. We have James Rushing, who was up here earlier, who will be speaking on going out and winning an All-American scholarship. So just the All-American race. We have Brooks Roche, one of our Cutco sales professionals, who will be speaking on maximizing orders with past Cutco customers. She sees a lot of people that already own Cutco and sells them a crap ton. She's a lot to her customers as well. So Brooks will have a table on that. We have Miranda, branch managers, Miranda and Jeremy, baseball Jeremy I introduced earlier. They will be hitting it up doing virtual tips. So they're going to do a dual table on virtual tips. So anyone who wants virtual demo tips, they might split up depending how many of you there are and have two separate tables. But they're both going to be working with that. Then we have Dawson Pickett, #1 rep last summer, district manager. He'll be running a table on having a big week, how to really set yourself up for a big sales performance week. And he's helped a lot of his guys do that, closing big orders. Then we have Philippe, who's running his branch in Beaumont. He's going to be showing you guys how to build a base from scratch, just networking. You guys heard James Rushing give tips, and he's going to walk you kind of step by step, regardless of where you're starting, what your background is. You know, he started with a lower, you know, clientele and building into what you want to really rock the second half of the summer. We have Kristen, Cutco Sales Professional Candidate. She will be giving tips on phones at $100K a year on someone who has been one of our most consistent performers right now in her first year, selling over $100,000 with full-time school, with church, with clubs that she leads, with her church, so pretty awesome. Then we've got Mr. Daniel Langlois, high school senior, who just graduated. He's going to be giving tips and keys on just time management and really going big around a lot of things. So for those who are really busy and saying, how do you balance it all? So he's going to be giving keys and tips and answering questions on that. We have Cheyenne, who is a top, you know, multiple 10K push performer. She's going to be just walking through for anyone who wants help on really setting up a 10K push for SC2 and showing you exactly what to be working on now or answer any questions to help you guys get on the limo for the next time around. And then we have Chad, one of our Cutco sales professionals back in the future. So Chad will be giving you guys the goods on flatware. So anyone who wants to learn and get keys on presenting the flatware, he's going to be the flatware man. Cool? So we've got some snacks along the sides. These guys are going to be spreading around at different tables. So some of the tables are starting now. The other guys will come over during the other tables. But enjoy. We regroup in 40 minutes. We regroup in 40 minutes. Take advantage of this. This was my favorite time, my first summer.